Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cookies and Chat. I'm Marcy,
I'm Lisa.
and we are cookie lists today because we got so caught up in the beautiful weather that we forgot about our cookie. So we'll give you two cookies next time. How about that?
I
And
think that'll
maybe
be a
something
good thing.
Halloweeny. We'll think about that.
Yep.
Is this? I don't. Wherever it is you are, wherever you're listening, this is just the most beautiful day. We're out here just sitting on my balcony. They say this is going to be the warmest day before the true fall weather, which I'm perfectly fine with, but this is just beautiful. So we bring this to you from outdoors. So, last time we were talking about just kind of restarting, getting ready to restart the year, which will be coming up before we know it. And yeah, talking about goals and so forth. So, Lisa and I were talking about some goals and setting some goals for ourselves to put ourselves in the right direction. So, you want to start
Sure.
and talk a little bit about it?
Um, Both of us have said, what can we do to better take care of ourselves? It's something that's a topic we've been talking about recently. And one of the things that we said, if we could do something every day for physical activity, doesn't mean you have to be a nut in the gym. We're talking about walking up and down steps for 10 minutes, going and taking a walk for that period of time. But just if you can every day do something for yourself that's physical exercise or activity, that would be a good thing. Second thing is that we're thinking, you know what, how about mental health too? What is something that we can do each and every day? Like I know, Marcy, you're very much into meditation.
Yes, yes.
So that would be a second thing, is just pick something every day. And for me, it may be reading, actually picking up a book and then start just for 10, 15 minutes a day. Just something that's helpful that way, something that helps your brain to relax. And then the third thing is eating. And again, we're not going to be crazy, but we're thinking every day, if we can just use each other for support. So we committed to once a day, just saying, yep, I did my activity. Yep, I did my physical activity. I did my mental activity and, food. Um, or I'm struggling a little bit with this. Something to just check in every day. And one of those check-ins will be when we see each other in person. So that's what we've decided to do.
Yeah, and we'll certainly keep you posted each week on how we're doing, our successes as well as our challenges. But we all have goals or things that we say to ourselves time and time again. I need to eat better. I need to get back to activity. I need to read more. Just maybe I just need to take better care of myself, whatever that may look like. So, who holds you accountable for that? And you might say you, but sometimes we need a little extra push. And that's where Lisa and I had this conversation that, yeah, it's easy to say, okay, this is what I need to do. Because I think for the most part, we all know what we need to do to be better.
Right.
We all know what we need to do to improve ourselves. But who helps us stay accountable? Maybe you're fortunate enough to have somebody at home that helps you. Maybe you are good at writing things down, and maybe whether you have a support system or a counselor or something that helps you to keep in check. So my challenge to everybody who's listening to this is that if you've been struggling, and when I say struggling, not necessarily that you haven't been successful in achieving your goals, but maybe just need that little added support, because who doesn't like to not only have that support, but even get that acknowledgement that good job. Even
Right.
if you didn't do the good job yourself, but maybe your partner did. So whether it's a friend, a colleague, somebody to support you, who is that person? And maybe have a conversation with them, similarly to what Lisa and I did. Very helpful if it's someone who's trying to achieve the same goals you are. Uh, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. So, to Lisa's point, one of the things that we talked about was, well, how frequently do we do this? Now, that really is totally up to you. For us, we thought we're going to start every day. And it doesn't need to be, this is every little thing I did today. But I had a successful day. I didn't have a successful day. I had some challenges. And what are some suggestions you might have to overcome them, or maybe it's just the conversation of saying them out loud.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be detail oriented. It can be if that's what's going to help you. I know for me, writing things down is very helpful. I keep a diary at home. I have a diary at work. I have, Lisa knows, I have calendars everywhere. But that's what works for me. What works for you? It might just be using your calendar on your phone or computer, and maybe just shooting that person who's supporting you a note just to say, hey, this is what I accomplished, or this is what I struggled with, or just want to let you know I had a good day. So,
Yeah.
you take it as far as you want. We decided to start off every day with just, you might say, a checkpoint. And then maybe as we go through our successes and we go through time, maybe we'll cut back. I don't know. And we both agreed that we wanted to get ourselves in better shape with eating, picking up activity, the self-care, which for Lisa was, even if it's just reading a book. For me, I did consistently meditate in the morning and the evening. And no excuses, I just got lazy with it. So that's my commitment to me, is I want to get back to that. And getting more into that routine, which will fall into routine of activity. So with activity, I want to talk just a few minutes about that. So here it is, it's a beautiful day. So, and I'm watching some people, there are people that will take a walk, people that will, if you're a runner, that's great too. Maybe walk your dog if you have one, or if you have a child, take your child on maybe like a little nature expedition of the neighborhood. It gets exercise in. So my question to everybody that's listening to this is, what do you do for activity? If you belong to a gym, good for you. I just put that right out there. I've done it. And I know for me, it's not something I'm going to stick with consistently. What I like to do consistently is do something that's outdoors. And even if it's cold, I was sharing with Lisa, I'll take a walk in the wintertime, pile on, a jacket and a scarf. I may not go far, but we're only committing 10 minutes a day.
Right.
What can you do for 10 minutes a day? At work, where I work, I noticed, and I had shared with Lisa, I noticed that we have some people that will take a walk at lunchtime, or if the weather's bad, they literally take a walk around the building, and I think, you know what, that's just 10 minutes. Why don't I do that? We are doing 10 minutes of nothing sometime during the course of our day, no matter how busy our day is. So let's put it to good use and pump up the heart, and we might even, I don't know, when you get that lull in the middle of the day, that I call it, I go into a black hole around 3, 4 o'clock. But maybe that'll help with a little bit more energy. And yeah, all good stuff. And it all ties into everything we're trying to do: eating better, taking good care of ourselves. So, what are you doing? We would love to hear about it. What do you do that worked? What have you done that maybe didn't work so well, or you had some challenges? And what are you doing to come up, whether it's a new plan or maybe to mix it up a bit? And what are some creative things that you guys are doing? I would love to hear about it, so we can maybe come up with some new ways to do things ourselves, and we'll share our successes and some challenges too along the way. Lisa, any?
No, I work from home, so a couple days a week I go into the office. But I'm thinking, in the days that I work from home, I can go up and down the steps a little bit because I have them. So I can use that as my activity. I'm just trying to think of things that are easily, readily available. I keep saying I'm going to go to the gym, but to be a reality right now, I think I'm better off picking something that's just right there, that I don't have to get in my car and travel and park and all of that. So.
And also too, it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. Sometimes going to a gym is a financial commitment. It doesn't cost all that much money to take a walk around the neighborhood, or go up and down your steps if you have steps. It doesn't have to be all that much. The other thing that Lisa and I talked about, which frankly you could do even just for yourself, is reward yourself. So I like incentives, I do admit. So what do you do to reward yourself? And you might be thinking, well, why should I reward myself? Well, why not? So let me give you an example. One of the things that kind of like a creative thing that Lisa and I came up with is in our efforts to put money aside, that every time we have a successful week, because we put a little bit aside each week, every week that we have a successful week, we're going to put some money in a jar. Okay, and that amount to be determined by you. We have a little system going on, so we've determined how much that will be. But you could do that, and not to say that it's got to be 100. It could be whatever changes in your purse, or maybe it's combining that with your self care. Every time I've had a successful week, and no matter how big or small, no matter how big or small that success is, maybe that's the day you're going to go and get yourself a pedicure. Maybe that's the day you're going to sit down and read that book. Do something that's just for you. You decide, but sometimes when you have that little bit of reward and you look at that accomplishment at the end of a couple weeks, the end of a month, the end of several months, it adds up in whatever way that looks like to you. So please let us know what you're doing, and share with us about your efforts. And if you are rewarding yourself, what are you doing that's creative for people that are thinking it's got to be about $1, and it doesn't. It could take a variety of forms. Any final thoughts to end?
No, we'll just keep you posted, and we'd love to hear in the comments from you.
Absolutely.
What is that thing you're doing for your mental health? I mean, we gave some examples, but I think what's going to work for me on this is not pigeonholing myself into a certain specific thing that I must do. I have some options, what's going to work for me today, and that I can make progress with either eating right or physical activity or something to do with my mental health.
Absolutely. And when you should never feel pigeonholed or put yourself in a box. And if something's not working, you don't give it up. Just as we said before, whatever your goal is, don't change the goal, just change the direction of how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So we wish you a fabulous week. Enjoy the beautiful weather, and next week we'll continue this conversation, talk about our successes, and maybe let's talk about some things as we get ready for the fall and the holidays, and the challenges and things that come up around that. So have a good week, everybody.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.